So apparently we're all just supposed to agree now. The same opinions, the same beliefs, the same correct opinions, because moral harmony to some people is just one big group chat. But the most chaotic thing humans could possibly do is try to morally align everyone. And it's not because of reasons you think, it's simply because everyone would think that they're a leader in some sense. Everyone would believe that they're the main character in the story. Because, like you watching this video, you're going to think that your actions and decisions are the best. Your actions and your decisions are only relative to your life. Like myself making this video, it's only relative to me. So, why would we even try to morally align everybody? It's impossible. Why? Because we're all built with different principles. We're born on different socioeconomic levels. So being the same is simply impossible. So let's just talk about moral alignment in a sense and how it's really a myth that gets fabled, and how this utopia is far from never happening. And here's the thing, humans have tried for millennia to morally align everyone on the same page. And spoiler alert, it has not worked at all. Not with religion, not with cults, and more recently, not with the council culture, which was like a pseudo religious cult kind of thing. Now, to support my claims, let's take a trip through history. You know those crusades, that 1,000-year period of a global cleansing that resulted in innocent men, women, and children dying? God was the PR, but power, profit, and growth were the true CEOs who were pulling the strings behind this. And then you go a bit further, you go to Jonestown. Jim Jones, unfortunately, got everyone to drink the Kool-Aid, which he promised redemption on these brochures, salvation. But the end destination was basically a mass suicide. More recently, you have people outwardly defending millionaires and billionaires who commit heinous crimes to themselves, their peers, friends, and family alike. And these people, they publicly defend these people with everything they have. Vote or die, right? Vote or die. At least he contributed to society at least one time. I pick up trash when I sit on the sidewalk. Does that mean that I'm contributing to society at least one time every couple years? Although there's pounds of trash floating in the ocean and it's blocks filled with trash, maybe 4 or 5 blocks over, how much am I really contributing? We keep trying to install this morality update in the human system. You should think that way. We should believe this way. This is the one absolute religion. We're trying to get everybody to think. We're trying to get everyone to think the same way. But the human isn't a kind of a straightforward, perfect system. We're filled with bugs. Some people are born with defects. Some people just shut down immediately. So why do we think that we can fix everybody? You should speak on this country bombing. Speak on that country's bombing. Why haven't you spoke out on this? Why have you spoke out against that? We're trying to play God and control everyone. So now when and why could that have a negative effect on human life? Now, before I answer that question, we first must establish a baseline for moral alignment. Moral alignment, in the simplest term possible, is right and wrong, or good versus evil. Now, I want to talk about a force that exemplifies what it means to be morally aligned. I'm talking about the greatest country in the world, the United States. United, they're united. Nothing gets better than this country, right? I mean, we're so morally aligned that we had to have a civil war just to determine whether or not slavery was ethical. And if we're being honest, it wasn't even about the ethics behind it. It was more political based, and the impact it was having on the Southern industry. Simple. I mean, just to put it in simple terms, That's all it was. And now we're split down the middle as far as the two major political parties being Democrats and Republicans. Now, I live in this country. I love this country. We're one of the few countries that can verbally talk about things that we dislike about our country. And that's a privilege. Now, this is about moral alignment. Shouldn't a country titled whose name is the United States be morally aligned? So why can't we agree? Now, this is not a bad thing because even the church can't agree on who should live, lead, or protect in some instances. So, is it a bad thing to not be morally aligned? No. It's okay to be unique and have different views. That's the basis of the video. It's okay to be different. That's the message. You can click off right now. It's okay to be different. Don't forget to like though. You can be different and still coexist with someone. Now, where the problems come into play is when you start to throw insults and try to tell the other person down, sort of like how our political parties do over here. They just tear each other down every chance they get. It's like they play moral dodgeball. No, you're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. You did this. You did that. Bringing up each other's past. We're just pulling brick by brick in this house that each one built from scratch to get to the point that they're at, whether it be ethical or unethical. The fact that we have to tear each other down to get a leg up is what saddens me. Now, that's the humanity in myself. Now, there are a lot of people who lack this conscience feeling to feel a sense of disarray that my country can't even combine to make one simple decision. One decision can't be made because a group feels so strongly about it and another group feels so strongly that they clash. Compromises no longer exist. Now, that's my opinion on the United States. But here's what science says about being morally aligned because women lie, men lie, feelings lie, but data complains silently and logically because the human brain is wired for confirmation bias, meaning you don't want the truth. You seek things that support your worldview and you ignore things that simply doesn't fall in line. There's this thing that's called moral tribalism. It's where you give your team members or people you like or have an affinity to infinite grace. But the moment someone who you don't align with or doesn't like does it, you crucify him or her. Put them on the grill and you don't stop. It's nonstop. You go on and on. My guy made a mistake, honest mistake. But your guy, he had to plan to do it, of course. He did it on purpose. But your guy made a mistake. What a coincidence. Social psychologist Jonathan Haddett, he says that morality evolved not to seek the truth, but to keep the outsiders out. Meaning the people with the same values, beliefs, and principles, they could all group together and push the outsiders to the side. That sounds like some religions. Now, I don't study theology, but think about it, right? The outsiders, they aren't allowed in. Sounds like some cults too, huh? Certain groups, they group up, right? You're not allowed. So you go wherever, whatever subreddit, Twitter thread, Facebook group, or group chat that supports your beliefs, you kind of flock to it. Now, not to sound like a loner wolf dude, whatever, but I never had a thing for groups. I wanted my ideas and thoughts to be challenged, which led to me to create this YouTube channel. Because as I said in my previous video, I know nothing. And I feel that I can continuously learn no matter what. So whatever I say this video could change the next video. Like what? Oh yeah, humans can change over time. So when you try to hold something over someone's head, think to yourself, is that a human? Because they maybe can change. Or maybe not. But to be morally aligned is to be on the exact same wavelength. Can you say that you're morally aligned with someone? Let me know in the comment section. And let's be honest, we all live in echo chambers. Your algorithm is kind of your world. These things make it as to where your feed is curated like a Spotify playlist. So you want to see things that make you nod, swipe, or rage scroll. Your phone isn't telling you everyone thinks like you. It's making it where you can't meet anyone who doesn't think like you. So you can't morally align because you believe that the confines in your phone is making it to where everyone has the same thoughts. And you have to break out of it and think, it's no way people are doing this all the time. And if I'm being honest, most of my YouTube videos are inspired by me getting mad thinking, it's no way this is true. Or by me being inspired by me saying, I have to talk about this and get this out to the world. And the bottom line is, as my last video suggested, if you have even a cent, not even a crumb, a cent or a figment of common sense, you can't get 8 billion people to do anything alike. I mean, for starters, we all live in different time zones. So we can't even wake up at the same time. So imagine trying to get us all to agree on one lunch. And ethics as well as lunch. Imagine trying to get 8 trillion or billion people, 8 billion people to agree on lunch. And we've tried it throughout history. We've tried it with law, war, religion, philosophers, Twitter, Reddit threads, Facebook group chats, TV talk shows, radio talk shows, morning talk shows, and now you have your TikTok influencers, podcasters. Every generation thinks this time we'll get it right. We're going to be the generation that sets everything right. If scientists and war generals and astrophysicists and journals that are found and scientists and all these other things can't get it right, why do you feel like you can? That's the equivalent of someone thinking they can teach a goldfish algebra. It's not just impossible, it's arrogant and borders on ignorance. Now, certain ceilings are meant to be shattered. Certain things just cannot be done. And that's not being negative or cynical. It's simply stating the obvious. If it was possible, do you think that it would don't you think it would have been done by now? Now, maybe that's a tunnel vision way of thinking because I doubt a caveman could have predicted Chat GPT. I'm pretty sure a Stegosaurus was probably enjoying his lunch, not knowing that it's gonna be his last lunch. So maybe certain things will come to fruition. I know that I won't be here to see it, but if it does, hopefully this video is around to serve as a, I guess it'll serve as a piece of history. Like, don't be this guy. Don't think a certain way. Anything is possible. Maybe I have the views I desperately desire by then. So, should you stop believing in morals altogether? No, it's okay to have morals, but when you think your morals is the blueprint for how someone else should lead their life, then you lose the plot. Because you then turn into the exact same thing that you oppose. Control. Rather than trying to morally unite the world, how about you simply live yours in peace? Not for applause, and definitely not for points. Because all moral alignment has really done in history is create different forms of power, control, and prettier forms of punishment. I mean, look at the Great Awakening and the Salem witch trials. Power, control, and prettier forms of punishment. It's done nothing else. Moral alignment, now that I think about it, it's a cult-like idea way of thinking. Everyone being on the same page, same behaviors, same mannerisms, I'm just saying. I'm not saying any names, but hey, before you try to convert, condemn, or cancel someone, ask yourself, do you want moral alignment just to feel right? If so, you're no different than those crusaders millions of years ago. You're no different than these billionaires who will their influence to get what they want, when they want it, how they want it. You're no different. You're just a preacher with the password. No, a preacher with the Wi-Fi password, I mean. Just spewing rhetoric, hoping people will join and follow your cause. I won't. But don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Support a nice cause, a decent cause, a neutral cause. I don't think I'm right or wrong, but I'll never know unless you comment. But that's it for now. Peace.